And I noticed that people have made, you know, memes out of it. And I don't mean memes as like something silly. It's a quote of his where he says, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty accurate, something along the lines of be brutal to institutions and kind to individuals. Right. And really that's something that I want to live by, because being brutal to one person, right? Like what, and I get it. Like there is so much anger and frustration, resentment. Everyone feels that. I feel that. And I'm not going to lie in that sometimes, you know, going after a specific person in the short term, very short term, could feel a little good, right? You feel like you're doing something, but you're really not. You're actually like playing into what the Nancy Pelosi's and the Mitch McConnells want, because behind the scenes, they're still getting paid and they're doing nothing for us, right? And so it's really this whole divide and conquer strategy that's as old as time and continues to be utilized against working people, not only in this country, but throughout the world.
That's right.
And one message that Michael really had, and I now understand it with such clarity, is that we need to find common ground. We need to unite as working people and push forward for a better society, because we might not all come from the same religion. We might not have the same background. We might have some differences here or there, but there is this one major issue that unites so many of us. And it's the economic injustice. It's the incentives that have been forced upon us by capitalism, right? And so we're not gonna win if we become these annoying little brats on Twitter who bitch about Joe Rogan or whoever. Who cares? Who cares? All right. It doesn't matter. None of this crap matters. The only thing that matters is uniting to fight the elite class. That's it.
That's right.
And doing that effectively improves the lives of all of us, regardless of your background, your race, your gender, your sexual orientation. You know, it improves so many people's lives, but instead we take the bait. We take the bait from the elite class over and over again. Yes. And I'm sick of it. I'm just tired of it. And so is Michael.
It's so crazy. This is where like the universality, I can't, like the cosmic, I'm very spiritual. I know he was, it overlapped with the few weeks leading up to his passing were about cancel culture. This cancel culture letter, people, I had mentors of mine who've been journalists for 35, 40 years saying like, this is too much. It's just too much now. Like the most sensible, thoughtful journalists were saying we're not taking part in due process as journalists from the journalism space. And we as a community, like, I don't know technically how you stop it. 2 days, I'm sharing a personal thing, but 2 days before Michael passed, a friend of mine who worked for us, who is not a public figure at all, shut down her Twitter account and was very deeply, I'll just say very, 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 very deeply and personally affected by a barrage of attacks on her that were not based in reality, and she was sucked into something else. And my conversation with her was really scary, actually. But it led to, how do we put forward legislation to stop this? Because it wasn't based in reality, it wasn't real Twitter trolls. And I had explained to her how the system works, and it was lies and smears, and she was worried that she was never gonna be able to work again because someone was gonna Google it. And I said, no, this is not how it works. But I think what's so interesting about this is like the cancel culture, like the canceling of cancel culture being led by everybody from Noam Chomsky to Barry Weiss, and like that, J.K. Rowling, like that igniting, and then seeing someone very close to me personally attacked to the point where it became like a little bit of a mental health thing, to legislation, and then seeing him pass. And I do think like in the universe, there's something happening, like it's gotta stop. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is. I mean, did he ever talk to you about like what it would take to stop this? Yes.
Yeah, so I was watching one of his post-game shows for the Michael Brooks show. And I had actually already watched that episode, but I liked it so much I went back and listened to it again yesterday. And his producer, Matt Leck, read one of the Discord questions where someone asked, like, look, it's true, the cancel culture stuff is wrong, but what about the fact that people, are really angry and upset? And it's almost like a respite to engage in this stuff, to be part of that, left-wing mob that goes after someone who did or said something that we disagree with. And you know what Michael said? He's like, reject it. I think that change happens when people, decide that they're going to take ownership of their mistakes, which I'm 100% doing by acknowledging that these Karen stories were in bad taste and didn't actually benefit anyone in covering them, right? And I just refuse to cover them moving forward. And it's not just, I'm giving you that specific example of Karen stories, but you guys get the picture. It's not just about the Karen stories. And he just says reject it, because what we need to do is find that common ground and, again, be ruthless when it comes to institutions, but kind when it comes to individuals, and find ways to have a conversation, right? Like, we've moved so far away from this idea of having a conversation with someone. They might disagree. You might not change their mind in that moment, but you plant a seed. And the thing is, you're not going to plant the seed if you outright reject that person, isolate them, demonize them, antagonize them. That's not going to help anyone. You're not going to persuade them of anything. And you're going to feed into exactly what the elite class wants. And so, I think one thing that I really want to do is somehow get left media, independent media hosts and producers, people who have some platform, some voice together. And maybe we make a pledge, right? And number one in that pledge, in my opinion, should be, let's stop publicly attacking one another. It's stupid. And we all know why it happens, right? It's just, anyway, it's because it leads to attention, and more attention means more clout. We all know that. And I've always hated that. But that's the first part of the pledge. The second part is, let's be ruthless to systems, and let's not take the bait. Let's not, and it's hard. I get it. It's totally hard, especially when you see the financial incentives that come along with covering those viral stories. But look, if I were in this to make money, I wouldn't be at TYT, right? I would be at CNN, where I would actually make money, and I wouldn't have to, just keeping it real, beg our viewers to fund us. I hate that. I can't, but I do it because what are my options? Right. Either I'm funded by the audience and I stay true to my integrity, or I go make a lot more money working for the CNNs of the world or whatever, mainstream media, where, broadcast can bring in some serious dollars. And so if I've made this decision, then I've got to carry out what the vision is. And the vision is to actually spur change in this country, but more importantly, spur change in the world. It's not just about the United States. And that was one other thing that Michael did a really great job in communicating clearly.
That helps you best align with your political beliefs. Civi helps you understand your political leanings and where you fit in today's political landscape. Their algorithm fills content based on your stances, shows you leaders who actually match your values, and independent media to help keep you informed. The more you use it, the better it grows. You can find Civi on iTunes today.